Hello, hello, y'all. Happy Sunday, and welcome to Andrea Speaks TV. I'm your host, Andrea, and I'm bringing you commentary you can use. So, this is episode 54. And today, on this beautiful Sunday, I want to bring you some information. Our topic for today is titled Beware of the Metaverse. So, if you're like me, you've heard this term metaverse. Actually, um, I first heard this term a few years ago when my husband first told me about, some things that were going on that he had heard about that wasn't necessarily mainstream news. But more recently, those of us who, may be on social media, we've heard this term come up. And we've also maybe, have heard it. Those of us, who watch the news, maybe you have heard about it in the news and you're wondering, okay, what is the metaverse? So I want to bring you some information today, talk to you about what is the metaverse, and also share some information with you regarding some, concerning points about the metaverse. But before we get into it, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button, share this video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. All right, y'all. Also, several of you have asked how you can support the channel. I do have Andrea Speaks TV merchandise available. The link is in the description of this video, as well as some other useful links. I do encourage you to check that out. If you would like to support the channel, you can make a purchase. I have partnered with Superlative Collection, a clothing brand, and I have items available such as t-shirts, hoodies, mouse pads, mugs, and tote bags, and water bottles. So please make sure that you check out the website. The link again is in the description of the video. And if you wish to support the channel, make your purchase today. All right, y'all. Also, you can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram at Andrea Speaks TV. I would like to build up my Instagram following. So if you are on Instagram, please be sure to follow me at AndreaSpeaksTV.com, and I will follow you back. All right, y'all. Another useful link that I would like for you to check out in the description of this video is my website, preparewithandrea.com. You all know we're living in a time where so much is going on. And if you're like me, when you have been going to the grocery store, you notice, or you may have noticed, that there are some empty shelves, some bare shelves, and items just are not being restocked, or they're not available at all. So we need to make sure that we have an emergency food supply, whether that is having your own garden, your home garden. You all know I have some videos right here on the channel where I was planting seeds, tending to my garden. Also, another method is canning food. Several people, including myself, I'm going to be canning food. Canning is something that I grew up seeing my family doing. So I just think we're living at a time where we need to get back to basics. So definitely canning, preserving your food, and also having survival needs. For example, what are you going to do, or what would you do? What would you and your family do if the power were to go out? Do you have non-electrical means of having light, as well as being able to cook? So all of those are things that you need to think about. And I do have some resources available to you to purchase on my website. So please make sure you go to preparewithandrea.com. Again, my website is preparewithandrea.com. The link is right here in the description of this video. So again, I want to welcome you all. I have new subscribers. Thank you all so much. Maybe it was a certain video that brought you to the channel, and you're wondering, okay, Andrea, what is your channel all about? So in my very first video, it's also right here on the channel. You may have to scroll all the way down and find it, because I have over 65 videos now on the channel. But the inspiration, what inspired me to create this channel, is that, we're living in a time where so much is going on and so much information is being pushed out to us that sometimes it's hard to, kind of go through it all and say, okay, what's really going on, and what do I need to know? What information do I need to know what's really going on? And once I realize that, or once you realize that, then, we can make plans to prepare, protect ourselves and our family and our loved ones. So this is what the channel is all about. If you are concerned about the times that we're living in, and you're looking for a place where you can find factual information, commentary you can use, as I say, then you're in the right place. So you want to make sure you subscribe to the channel, look for the red subscribe button, and also hit the notification bell so that you can stay informed and connected when I upload new content every week. So again, I want to say welcome, welcome. This is episode 54 of Andrea Speaks TV. Again, I want to thank you all so much for your support. One other thing that I want to announce before we get started, if you are a subscriber of Andrea Speaks TV and you are a small business owner, I am putting something together. It's still in the works, but it's something that you may be interested in. So if you are a subscriber of Andrea Speaks TV and you are a small business owner and you have a product that you would like to promote this holiday season, you can leave me a comment right here on the video in the chat, or you can follow me on Instagram and leave me a message on the page. Let me know and I will get the information to you. It's still in the works, but I feel like it's something that's going to be pretty awesome. I'm excited about it. I think you will be too. And you may be interested in the opportunity. So make sure you reach out to me. You can comment under the video here, or if you follow me on Instagram at AndreaSpeaksTV.com, just make sure you follow the page. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and leave me a comment. And I will reach back out to you. Okay. All right, y'all. So again, this is episode 54. The topic for today is beware of the metaverse. And I'm going to talk about where we or how we got here, talking about the topic, beware of the metaverse. And I have some information to share with you. So I'm going to share my screen. Again, I want to thank you all so much for joining. Whether you're watching now live or by replay, please make sure you say hello in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And I would love to know your thoughts about the information that I am presenting on the metaverse. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Let me give you some time to subscribe. If you have not already subscribed, hit the notification bell so that you can stay updated. Okay. So I'm going to give you a little bit of time, maybe about 30 seconds to get that done, and then we will get started. Again, I want to say hello and welcome to episode 54. The title of this video is Beware of the Metaverse, and it is presented by Andrea Speaks TV. Again, this is episode 54, and today is Sunday, November the 7th. Okay. Now, I'm not sure how long this video will be. I do encourage you to watch the entire video. It's filled with information that I feel like everyone could use, especially those of us who are on social media. And so even if you're not able to watch it all now, make sure you go back, watch the replay, get the information, and by all means, please share the information with your family, friends, and loved ones. This is news that we can all use. Okay. So Andrea, let's talk about the metaverse. Before I get into specifically the metaverse, I want to talk about the fact that Facebook recently announced that it was changing its name. So this information that I'm sharing with you on the screen does come from CNBC. And the title of the article says Facebook changes company name to Meta. All right. So I want to give you some information about that. All right. Again, this comes from CNBC, and Facebook changes company name to Meta. All right. Now, according to the article, Facebook on Thursday, this would have been about a week ago or so, announced that it has changed its company name to Meta. Okay, now this article was published on October the 28th, which was a Thursday. Okay, so that is the Thursday when they made the announcement. The article says the name change was announced at the Facebook Connect Augmented and Virtual Reality Conference. The new name reflects the company's growing ambitions beyond social media. Facebook, now known as Meta, has adopted the new moniker based on the sci-fi term metaverse. All right, so the inspiration of the name comes from, it says it's based on the sci-fi, okay, sci-fi science fiction term metaverse to describe its vision for working and playing in a virtual world. So as I share this information, I want you to pay attention to some of the words, the keywords, the phrases that are associated with the metaverse. And at the end, I'm going to ask you, what is your opinion or what are your thoughts on the metaverse? Okay, but listen at the descriptive words tied to metaverse as I explain it. Okay, here's a quote from Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg. He said at the conference, he said, "Today we are seen as a social media company, but in our DNA, we are a company that builds technology to connect people. And the metaverse," he says, "is the next frontier, just like social networking was when we got started." Again, that is a quote by Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg. Okay. The company also said in announcing the new name that it will change its stock ticker symbol from FB to MVRS, and that will be effective on December the 1st. Now, Meta's stock price closed up on that same Thursday. All right, you all make sure you hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel. Now, the article goes on to say that in July, the company announced the formation of a team that would work on the metaverse. All right, 2 months later, the company said it would elevate Andrew, and I guess his nickname is Bosworth, who is currently the head of the company's hardware division, to the role of Chief Technology Officer in 2022. And in its third quarter earnings result on that Monday of that week, the company announced that it will break out Reality Labs. Okay, this company is called Reality Lab, or this division rather is called Reality Labs, which is its hardware division, into its own reporting segment starting in the fourth quarter. All right, so what do you all think about this news? So right away, instantly, I knew that this is something that Facebook, and you're going to find out as I present more information to you, you're going to find out that this is not something that Facebook just started working on yesterday. This is something that has been in the works now for several years. Okay. So again, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. All right, give me just a second, y'all. Let me check on something. I want to make sure my audio is working correctly. You all let me know if you're able to hear me, okay? All right, I want to make sure that you all can hear me. All right, I want to make sure that you all can hear me. Okay, all right, so we're good to go. Okay, all right, let me continue reading now. Here's another quote from Mark Zuckerberg. He says, "Our hope is that within the next decade, the metaverse will reach 1 billion people." That's a lot of people, y'all. Let me repeat this sentence, okay? Again, this is a quote from Mark Zuckerberg. He says, "Our hope is that within the next decade," all right, the next 10 years. So that would be what? This is 2021. So by 2031, he's saying the metaverse will reach 1 billion people. 1 billion people, host hundreds, listen to this, y'all, host hundreds of billions of dollars of digital commerce and support jobs for millions of creators and developers. All right, now that was a quote from Zuckerberg, who wrote that statement. That was part of his statement in a letter on that Thursday that he announced the Facebook name change to Meta. Okay. Now, the article goes on to say that over the past few years, the company has ramped up its efforts in hardware, introducing, here's some things that have been going on, y'all, okay? Over the past few years, the company has ramped up its efforts in hardware, introducing a line of portal video calling devices, launching the Ray-Ban Stories glasses, and rolling out various versions of the Oculus virtual reality headsets. All right, the company has indicated that augmented and virtual reality will be a key part of its strategy in the coming years. How do you all feel about this information so far? Please let me know in the comments. All right, let me know, how do you all feel about this information? All right, and please make sure those of you all who are tuning in now, please, or if you're watching the replay, please make sure that you hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and also subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support. All right, just a moment here. Let me know your thoughts. How do you feel about this news so far? Again, thank you. If you're just tuning in, we are talking about the metaverse and some concerns that I have and that I would like to share with you regarding the metaverse. Okay. All right. We're talking about Facebook. As I said, Facebook changing its name. Again, over the past few years, the article says, this is from CNBC, the company has ramped up its efforts in hardware, introducing a line of portal video calling devices, launching the Ray-Ban Stories glasses, and rolling out various versions of the Oculus virtual reality headsets. The company has indicated that augmented and virtual reality will be a key part of its strategy in the coming years. Okay, so they definitely have a plan for this type of technology. Okay. Now, the company also said that it would be spending about $10 billion, okay, $10 billion over the next year developing the technologies required for building the metaverse. Now, Zuckerberg also said on that Thursday, he also provided a demonstration of the company's ambitions for the metaverse. Okay, now there is a video recording that's right here on YouTube of the Facebook Connect augmented and virtual reality conference. I was able to watch some of it. It's about, I want to say maybe like an hour and about an hour and 20 minutes, I believe. And as he was talking about it, he was kind of giving the viewers a glimpse of what this metaverse would actually look like. And so if you have not watched that video, I do encourage you to, do your research. Everything that I'm sharing is factual information. And so I do encourage you to watch it, to get the information and to get a firsthand look yourself at what he is planning to do with this new metaverse. Okay. All right. So let's see, the demo, okay, the demonstration that he did was a Pixar-like animation of software the company hopes to build someday. The demo included users hanging out in space as cartoon-like versions of themselves or fantastical characters like a robot that represent their virtual selves. All right, did y'all just hear what I said? I'm going to repeat it because somebody didn't catch it, okay? Again, we're talking about the metaverse, what it will look like. And I want to read this again. This is very important, okay? So again, Zuckerberg on Thursday, October 28th, when he announced the name change for Facebook, from Facebook to being known as Meta, he gave the users a glimpse of what he and his company are working on and what his version of the metaverse would actually look like. So again, the demo was a Pixar-like animation of the software the company hopes to build someday. The demo included users hanging out in a space the demo included users hanging out in space as cartoon-like versions of themselves or fantastical characters. Listen to this, y'all. Like a robot that represent their virtual selves. What do you think about this information? Now, Zuckerberg used part of it to accuse other tech firms of stifling innovation with high developer fees. Okay, y'all make sure you hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and also be sure to subscribe to the channel. Okay, let's see. All right, the rebranding comes amid a barrage of news reports over the past months. You all know right here on the channel, I talked about the Facebook whistleblower, a former employee who released several internal company documents to news outlets, lawmakers, and regulators. Okay, so around the same time that all of this is happening, not only did we have the Facebook outages, you all remember the Facebook outages that happened? All of this happened during the same week that the whistleblower, she's giving her testimony to, I believe it was Congress. Facebook was having outages. And then all of a sudden, the next thing we know is that Facebook is changing its name from Facebook to Meta. What are your thoughts on that? Isn't that kind of concerning? Like, why is all of this happening around the same time, right? All right, now, this CNBC article concludes by saying the reports show that the company is aware of many of the harms its apps and services cause, but either doesn't rectify the issues or struggles to address them. More documents are expected to be shared daily over the coming weeks. And in a call with analysts on Monday, Zuckerberg refuted the claims and critiques in the report stemming from the documents provided by the whistleblower. So again, y'all, all of these things are happening around the same time. Hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate your support. We are here today talking about Facebook and some of the, we're here to talk about Facebook. Well, right now we're talking about Facebook, the fact that Facebook changed its company name to Meta. And now we're going to talk more about the concerns, what some experts are calling dangers of the metaverse. So if you're just tuning in, you're right on time. I was just giving some backstory so that you all, as the viewers, subscribers, and supporters, would have an understanding of, okay, Andrea, why are you talking about the metaverse all of a sudden? Where did all this start? How all of a sudden is this news? Okay. All right. So let's see. Okay. Someone in the chat said, yes, it's strange that Facebook is abruptly changing their company's name. Sounds like that they are trying to avoid some sort of liability. It's very suspicious, right? As a matter of fact, I was just talking about the fact that, not only all of this news. So I have a video right here on the channel where I talked about the fact that not only did Facebook have the outages, remember there was like a week where on two different occasions, there was a Monday, actually it might have been three. Monday, the outage happened. Several people could not access Facebook. And then I think the following day, Tuesday, some people still couldn't get there, but some people still couldn't log in, but then there were some people who could. And then that same week on a Friday, it went out again. So all of this is happening at the same time that the Facebook whistleblower is sharing her story, giving her testimony to Congress. All of these things are happening during the same week, y'all. And next thing we know, a few weeks later, all of a sudden, Facebook is changing their name. These are the type of questions we should, be asking, like what's really going on, right? Okay, all right. So let me go to the next slide. Again, this information comes from CNBC. Okay, here is the new logo for the company formerly known as Facebook. It is called Meta now. All right, so this is their logo. You can see it here on the screen. And I'm going to read the caption. Okay, it says the immersive virtual world was recently revealed as one of Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg's top priorities, but critics are skeptical about how good it will actually be. Okay, so this image comes from Getty Images. All right, let's continue. You all, please make sure you share this video, hit the thumbs up button, share this video with family members and friends, especially if they use these social media sites. I feel like this is news that we can all use, okay? Again, I want to welcome my new subscribers. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel in your free time, in your spare time, whether you're where you can sit down and watch it, or if you're in your car on the go. Make sure you check out other videos that I have on the channel. I have over 65 videos now, full of information and commentary that you can use. Okay. All right. So this is just some information that I just read to you from the CNBC article. I can read it again. Maybe some people just joined and they didn't get to hear the information. Facebook on Thursday announced that it has changed its company name to Meta. The name change was announced at the Facebook Connect Augmented and Virtual Reality Conference. I share with you all that I did get to watch some of that conference. It is on YouTube. It's about 1 hour and I think 1 hour and 20 minutes long. So I do encourage you to go and watch it. As as Mark Zuckerberg was talking about the metaverse and the company Meta, he actually gave the viewers a firsthand look at what it may look like, and so it was pretty different. It was, you know, I just encourage you to go and watch it, and I want you to form your own opinion. Okay. He also made the quote. He said, "Today we're seen as a social media company," talking about Facebook. But in our DNA, we are a company that builds technology to connect people, and the metaverse is the next frontier, just like social networking was when we got started. Okay, that was a quote from Mark Zuckerberg. He also announced that the stock symbol will be changing from FB to MVRS effective December the 1st. Okay, all right, so let's continue. I'm going to go to the next slide. Now, speaking of Meta. Okay, speaking of Meta, I did find some information during my research. This information comes from BBC News, and the title of this article says that Meta, okay, Facebook's new name, was actually ridiculed by Hebrew speakers. Okay, I'm going to read the caption here. You can see that is the Meta CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, standing right beside the logo, the new logo for the company Meta. And in the caption, it says Facebook announced the company's name change on Thursday. That was Thursday, October 28th. And then the caption says Facebook's announcement that it is changing its name to Meta has caused quite the stir in Israel, in the country of Israel, where the word sounds like the Hebrew word for, and I quote, dead. All right, so think about that, y'all. Let's think about that for a minute. So again, Facebook has announced that they're changing their name to Meta, or they have changed their name to Meta. And the term Meta, from what I am learning from this article, in Hebrew, the word Meta means dead. This is according to the article. So if that is true, if that is the case, why do you think Facebook would change their name to a word that in Hebrew, this is what the article is saying, why would Facebook change their name to a word that means dead? If they're talking about becoming a company that is able to build and connect more people through technology, I want you all to think about that. It actually goes deeper than what most people may can take from it. But I want you to think about that. Why would Facebook change their name to a word that in Hebrew, according to the article, in Hebrew is another word for, or in Hebrew, I'm sorry, means the word, or sounds like the word the article is saying, the word dead? Why would they do that? I would like to know your thoughts. Let me know in the chat. Okay. All right, let's continue. Again, that information does come from BBC. All right, now again, I want to give some background information on the idea of the metaverse, where that comes from. So I'm gonna, so that I can read the information to you and so that you can see it on the screen. Okay, someone said in the chat, meta meaning dead in Hebrew is bizarre. I think Zuckerberg and his team wouldn't have been aware of that. That is something to think about. Okay. All right. All right, let's keep going. Now, actually, the reason why, let me go back to that slide before we go on. Okay, I want you to think about, so I want you to keep this in your mind, the fact that according to BBC News, there were some Hebrew speakers who were offended. We could say they were offended by the fact that Facebook Facebook changed its name to a word that means dead in Hebrew. And I want you to keep that in mind, keep that thought in mind as I prepare to share more information with you about what the metaverse is and the concerns, and maybe possibly, as experts are saying, the dangers surrounding that. Okay. All right. So keep that in mind. I included this for a reason. Okay. We'll come back to it. All right. So the idea of the metaverse, before I break it down to you all, I'm going to take myself out of the screen so that you can see all of the words as I read them. So you won't be able to see me, but I am still here. All right. So where did the idea come from? This information comes from Forbes, and it says a computer scientist named Jaron Lanier first coined the term virtual reality in the 80s. And the first applications for VR, virtual reality, were airlines, car makers, NASA, and the military. They were the only ones who could afford the technology. Back then, according to the article, a VR headset might cost as much as $3 million in current dollars, Lanier estimates. And there's a quote, he says, it was expensive and hard to come up with a business model to make enough money from an arcade situation, he says. Now, in the second paragraph, now this is very important, okay? I want you all to hear what I'm saying and also do your research to learn more. Okay, now the actual term, and I quote metaverse, the actual term metaverse comes from a best-selling 1992 sci-fi or science fiction novel, Snow Crash. Okay, that may be something that you want to go back and do your research on. Okay. All right. So the actual term metaverse comes from a best-selling 1992 sci-fi novel, Snow Crash. Its author, Neil Stephenson, imagined a dystopian world. Listen to this, y'all. Okay. This is the idea behind what they're calling the metaverse. Okay. Now, the author of the 1992 sci-fi novel, Snow Crash, Neil Stephenson, imagined a dystopian world where the book's main character, a hacker, pizza delivery guy named hero protagonist, travels back and forth from his grim reality. Listen to this, y'all. Travels back and forth from his grim reality to a 3D virtual cityscape known as the metaverse that stretches for over 40,000 miles. Stevenson's work would later influence the Matrix series and Ready Player One, a 2018 Steven Spielberg film based on a book by Ernest Cline from 7 years earlier. Now, I'm going to go back. Okay, someone else commented in the chat, maybe they didn't think the general public would know or care about the company name being Meta. And that could very well be the case. That could very well be the case. But, you know, a lot of times we just gotta, you know, these companies, they have to, you know, do their research and find out, you know, exactly, you know, what their the name means sometimes. So that's a very good point. Okay, thank you for sharing that. All right, so did y'all hear what I just said about what influenced or the actual term metaverse, where it came from? Let's talk about that. I'm going to repeat that, and I want to know your thoughts in the comments. Okay, the actual term metaverse Comes from a best-selling 1992 sci-fi novel, Snow Crash. Okay, maybe you want to go and do some research about Snow Crash, find out exactly what that was about. Okay, the author, Neil Stevenson, says, the article says, imagine a dystopian world where the book's main character, a hacker pizza delivery guy named Hero Protagonist, travels back and forth from his grim reality. Grim reality. So in my mind, let's see. Someone says, are you buffering or is your sound muted? I can't hear you. Are you all able to hear me? Let's see. Are you all able to hear me? Let's see. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, thank you for pointing that out. Let me check. I could be buffering. To hear me. Let's see. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, thank you for pointing that out. Let me check. I could be buffering. To hear me. Let's see. Can you hear me? Someone says they still can't hear me. It could be buffering. I'm not exactly sure. Let's see. I'm not exactly sure. Let's see. Okay, to the viewer who said that they couldn't hear me, could you try going back out and coming back into the live and see if that makes a difference? Are you able to do that? I want to make sure before I keep going that you all can hear me. Let's see. All right, so while I'm trying to figure out the sound, y'all, please make sure that you hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for your patience and understanding as I work through the sound issues. Okay, yes. If you could do that, that would be great. I'm not sure if the screen is frozen, but try going out and coming back in. Thank you so much. Okay, are you all able to see me? Are you able to hear me? Let's see. All right, hold on, y'all. I want to make sure that you all can hear me and see me before I continue. I'm not exactly sure. Let's see. Okay, are you all able to see me and hear me clearly? Please let me know in the chat. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate you all. Let me know, can you hear me? Can you see me clearly? Am I frozen? Please let me know. I'm going to share the screen again. Let me know if you can see the information on the screen. Okay, I'm going to keep going. You all just let me know in the chat if there's a problem. So again, y'all, I would encourage you to do your research. Look up the 1992 sci-fi novel Snow Crash. Since according to Forbes, they are the inspiration, or the term metaverse was inspired from that best-selling novel. So do your research. I'm going to do my research to see exactly what's going on with that. Okay. All right, let's keep going because I do have more information to share with you now. This is some information. The next several slides is some information that I got from the Wall Street Journal. And I thought it was very important to share with you. Okay. All right. So the title of this article is "What is the Metaverse? The Future Vision for the Internet." Now think about that, y'all. All right. So I want to take you through I want to take you through the slides and share some information with you about that. Let's see. I'm just checking. I'm looking at it on my phone to see how it may look to our viewers, or my viewers rather. Thank you all so much for your support and for tuning in. Who said that they couldn't hear me? Could you try going back out? Okay, I want to say we're good to go now. And see if that makes a difference. I think we're good to go. So I'm going to keep going. Okay. Hey, we got to work through the technical difficulties. This is live. So, hey, we know that things can happen when we're live. So thank you all so much. Those of you all who are tuning in live, or if you're watching by replay, I appreciate your support. Okay, let's keep going. So now I want to talk about what actually is the metaverse. What does that look like? And according to the Wall Street Journal, where I got this information, this is what they're calling the future vision for the internet. Yay! Okay, someone in the chat said they can hear me. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, thank you so much for your support. I truly appreciate you. You all, anytime that I'm live and there's something going on, hey, wait a minute, we can't see, we can't hear you. Let me know. We'll work through it together. Thank you all so much for sticking with me. Okay. All right, so let's get into it, y'all. So what is the metaverse? The future vision for the internet. Now, in the caption, it says, tech leaders describe the online world as an extensive place where people and their avatars, people and their avatars, y'all, can work. Listen to this, y'all, can work, shop, attend classes, and even walk on the moon. Okay. All right. Again, this information does come from the Wall Street Journal. It was put together by Megan Bobrowski and Sarah Needleman, and it was updated and published on November 6, 2021. So let's talk about this, y'all. Okay. All right. So I'm going to change my slide. All right. Now here's a question that I want to pose to you, and then we will also come back to it. Okay. This is some information. Again, this comes from the Washington Post, and the question asks, What will the world look like when you can be whoever you want to be or whoever you want in the metaverse? Now, think about that, y'all. Right away, this is for me, this is just my opinion. Right away, this is concerning. What will the world look like when you can be whoever you want in the metaverse? So you're telling me what I get from this is whatever this metaverse is, and you're gonna learn, stick with me, stick around. You're gonna learn that this is a concept where you can be with whatever whoever you want to be right away. To me, that's concerning right away. But let's get into it. So the caption says it may seem far off, but 35 years ago, people also would have been skeptical if they'd been told we'd be finding dates and jobs staring at screen in our bedrooms. Did y'all just hear what I read? This is all about the metaverse. What will the world look like when you can be whoever you want in the metaverse? All right, someone in the chat said this reminds me of that online community, second generation, where people had avatars and pretended to be animals and such. Really strange to me, someone says in the chat. This was several years ago. We'll try to find the article. Okay, now it's you mentioned it, but I'm actually going to speak on. We may be talking about the same. We may be talking about the exact same article. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Okay, keep that topic in mind. What will the world look like when you can be whoever you want in the metaverse? If you all have some information to share, let's see. I'm going to put my email in the chat. All right. You can please send to andreaspeakstv@gmail.com. Okay, I just posted the information in the chat. All right, y'all, let's keep going. Again, I mentioned earlier, I talked about Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook Connect augmented and virtual reality conference. And this is a screenshot. Thank you so much for your support. This is a screenshot of something that was shown in the chat. I'm going to take myself out so that I can read the caption and you can see the caption. The caption says Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg speaks to an avatar of himself in the metaverse during Facebook Connect. His vision of the future could have wide-ranging and potentially ill-advised effects. Okay, we're going to talk about all of that. Okay, you all let me know your thoughts in the chat. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Okay, thank you all so much for your support. Someone else said they can hear me. Thank you, I appreciate you all. Please make sure all of you all that are here, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up. That will give me feedback. That will also help other viewers to see my video. I think that I'm sharing information that we all need to know about. You know, we hear this term metaverse, and a lot of people may say, oh, it looks like something cool. I want to be a part of it. I'm going to, share more information with you. But once we start really reading into it and seeing what's going on, we may say, okay, I don't know about this. I have some concerns about this. So that's how I felt when my husband, I share with you all that my husband shared information about it a few years ago, actually, maybe around, I think it was like 2018, somewhere around that. That was 3 years ago. And, even now finding out, doing research, finding out more information, I have more concerns. And so that's why I want to share the information with you so that you can know what's going on and decide for yourself, even for you and your family. Especially those of us who have a child or children, young children, young teenagers. We need to know what's going on. What is this all about? And decide for ourselves, is this something that we even want to be a part of? Okay. All right. So let's keep going. All right, so I'm going to put myself back in the view of the videos. So again, this information comes from Wall Street Journal. It says the metaverse is loosely defined as an extensive online world where people interact via digital avatars. Companies like Meta Platforms Inc. or Incorporated, formerly known as Facebook Inc., have touted plans to develop metaverse experience, services, and hardware. Again, the metaverse, it says, is loosely defined as an extensive online world where people interact via digital avatars. Digital avatars. So let's get into that, y'all. Let's keep going. Okay, now I want to read some information to you. At any time, if you would like to share your thoughts, whether you're for the metaverse or you're against the metaverse, please share your thoughts in the comments. I think this is something that we could have a respectful conversation about. Again, several of us, including myself, we use social media. And particularly if we're using Facebook or Meta, if we want to call it Meta now, this is something that we need to be concerned about. We need to be aware of, maybe, be concerned about, because this is the direction that the company Meta, formerly known as Facebook, this is the direction that they are going in. Okay. All right. So here we have, well, let me just read the caption. Again, this comes from the Wall Street Journal. It says the metaverse concept is rooted in science fiction novels like Snow Crash and Ready Player One. Okay, in the latter, Ready Player One, in the latter, it says the world has been ravaged. Now, listen to this, y'all. Please listen to this part, okay? This part, I was like, wait a minute. This sounds familiar, okay? And for the person in the chat earlier who was trying to think of, well, okay, that may have been something different, but let me know if this is what you were talking about as well, okay? All right, so the caption says the metaverse concept is rooted in science fiction novels like Snow Crash and Ready Player One. Now, in the latter, meaning Ready Player One, listen to this, y'all. Listen to this. In the latter, referring to Ready Player One, the world has been ravaged by climate change and a fossil fuel crisis, and the metaverse is an escape. Now, did y'all hear what I just said? Does this not sound familiar? So I'm thinking about everything that's going on now. You all have seen in videos right here on the channel. We've been talking about climate change, right? I talked about climate change. I said, okay, well, a lot of times when I'm doing my research, they keep saying everything is somehow linked to climate change. So you mean to tell me, let me go back and read this again. Somebody didn't hear it. I don't know. Somebody didn't hear it, but let me read this, y'all. The metaverse concept. The metaverse concept, y'all, is rooted in science fiction novels. Somebody explain, okay? Somebody explain, what is science fiction? The term science fiction, what does that mean? Somebody break it down. Science fiction, okay? I'm gonna look it up because I want to be clear. Okay, again, I want to report factual information. I don't want to just give my opinion. Okay, someone said in the chat, I just think the metaverse is strange, and I believe people won't be able to distinguish between reality and fantasy. I'm going to make that point as well. People will be able to avoid responsibility. I agree. Someone said they heard me. Thank you. Thank you. Do you all hear what I'm saying here? Someone else said, sounds like the metaverse is part of a bigger plan. I'm telling you, I agree with that as well. But someone said, but will retreating to a metaverse really help solve the problems we will experience? I'm telling you. Science fiction, someone said mixing science with fiction. I want y'all to read that for yourself. Read the caption. Read it 2 times, 3 times. Do you see what they're saying? It's based on, it's rooted in science fiction. You all make sure you hit the thumbs up button, share this video. Is this a good topic, y'all? Do you think this is information that we need to know about? The metaverse is rooted in science fiction. Thank you all so much for your support. I appreciate you all. All right, let me see. All right, I'm looking up the definition of science fiction. All right, according to Britannica. All right, according to Britannica. Oh, okay, someone said the print is small. Let me see if okay, let me read it out loud again. Okay, so you may not be able to see me, but you'll be able to hear me. The metaverse concept is rooted in science fiction novels like Snow Crash and Ready Player One. Okay, Ready Player One may also be a novel that you want to research, find out more about. But in Ready Player One, it says in the latter, referring to Ready Player One, the world has been ravaged by climate change. Sounds like a lot like today, right? A lot of times, if we just turn on the news or we do our research, we see they're talking about climate change and a fossil fuel crisis. Okay, think about all the crises that I've been talking about that are going on. Fossil fuel crisis, they're saying, and the metaverse is an escape. So what this sounds like to me is, are they saying that in those particular cases in the science fiction novels, it sounds like they were saying that the world was so bad. So many things was going on. The world was so bad that they had to turn to the metaverse as an escape. What do y'all think about that? Let me know your thoughts in the chat. So when I think about how, companies like Facebook or Meta, the direction that they're going in, do they want us as consumers, as people, as humans, do they want us to say, you know what, there's food shortages going on. We know that we got the supply chain crisis. We know everything going on about mandates. So much is going on. Water shortage, food shortage, supply chain crisis. All the things that we hear about and see that are going on, and some things we don't even know yet, right? Everything is just so bad. Let us give you an escape. Is that what they're saying? Let us give you an escape from all of these things that are going on, and you can actually create your own world where, according to the article, and we're going to come back to that, you can create your own world where you can be whoever you want to be. Is that the solution? And I'm an adult. You all who are watching are adults, but think about from the perspective of a young child or a teenager. This is what things are coming to, y'all. Someone said in the chat, I think it's foolish. We must live in reality and work together to improve conditions instead of retreating to a fantasy world. And I agree. It sounds exactly like they're saying, hey, things are so bad. If you can't take it and you just want to make things better, all you got to do is just come to the metaverse and you can be whoever you want to be. You can create your own world. Is that what we want? Is that what we want for our children? Is that what we want for ourselves? But for our children, young teenagers, we know how influential young people are. And so I have a question. So another question and concern I have, who is the target market behind this? Because you're going to see, and I'm going to go to the next slide, a lot of this looks like a cartoon, like a game world. Who are they really targeting? Who are they really targeting with this metaverse? It really makes you shake your head and say, wow, this is what things are really coming to. But do you see why it's so important for us to know this and not just be like, oh my goodness, this is so exciting and I can make myself look like a cartoon and everything's going to be great. Do you see why we don't need to just jump with whatever is popular? We need to take time and research and find out what's going on. Someone said in chat, no, in my opinion, metaverse isn't a solution. Entertaining maybe, but not a solution. Right? Exactly. Are they marketing this to teenagers? Someone in the chat said teenagers. And if that is the case, if teenagers are really the target, then that's definitely concerning. You want to teach a teenager how to escape reality and go into, what can be considered a fantasy world, a virtual world. You want them to lose touch with reality. You all let me know your thoughts in the chat. All right, so here's another picture. I want to keep going. I have I have some more information to share with you. Thank you all so much for your support. If you are just joining us, we're talking about some dangers, some concerns about the metaverse that I don't think some people are really taking into consideration. Again, for some people, it may be exciting, like, what? I get to be an avatar. I get to create a virtual world. This is so cool. But wait a minute. Let's let all the smoke clear. Do you really see what's going on and what problems are about to come about because of this? And we're going to get into them. All right. So again, this comes from the Wall Street Journal. Someone said, yes, it's important to consider the motive of such things. I completely agree. I agree. All right. The caption says, in the metaverse that tech companies are aspiring to create, people would be able to watch a UFC fight. Okay. Several people may be fans of watching UFC fights. And so in this virtual world, metaverse is saying people would be able to watch a UFC fight, from any angle, including from the perspective of the fighter. It would also be possible to do new unimaginable things like walk on the moon. Okay. Now, in the particular article from the Wall Street Journal where I got this information from, you see two men here who are doing the UFC fighting. This was actually a screenshot. I took this screenshot from a video clip, and you could see that the video went from being two actual people who were standing there, humans. It went from being two humans to all of a sudden looking like the avatar, what you see here on the screen. And so I was like, wow, it went from being two real people to a cartoon or avatar version of those people. And it really made it to where, again, this is a screenshot I took from a video clip, but you could actually, it's like it almost put you inside the fight, and it gave you a close-up because you could, I wish I could play the video for you all, but I don't want to, I know it could be, some copyright issues, and I don't know how the quality of the sound would be, but it puts you at a closer angle to the actual fight. So for some people, I would say for adults, that could be something cool to where, if maybe you have a famous, or maybe you support a player and you're watching the fight, and to actually feel like you're there at the fight, that may be something cool for adults, right? But I don't know, what does that do to someone mentally? I don't know. I'm just asking, these are just some concerns that I have. Let's see, the powers. Someone shared the powers that the elite don't want thinking or active teenagers who will grow up to possibly oppose them. They'll be busy with meta while the world goes to hell in a handbasket. I'm telling you. And the person also shared, this is designed, I believe, to separate or divide people so there isn't any unity or connection. We're moving further away from God. Those are some great concerns that you have shared. It's very concerning, and it, like I said, it just makes you wonder, okay, like what's really going on here? What are we doing? What are we talking about here? It's very concerning. Okay. All right, now check this out, y'all. Here's another thing. Okay. Again, the next few slides, all of this information comes from the Wall Street Journal. I'm reporting factual information. So anything that you would like, any of this, you could go and research for yourself. All right, now check this out, y'all. Okay. This again is a screenshot from a video, but it says some metaverse-esque experiences already exist. Okay. Roblox Corp and Epic Games Inc.'s Fortnite, okay, have hosted virtual concerts with stars like Ariana Grande and other immersive experience. So again, this is a screenshot that I took from a video, and in the video, you have, I guess, who appears to be Ariana Grande. She's, kind of elevated above everyone else. She's the one that you see with the hands raised up, and the people around her, they're dancing, and all of this is avatars. All of these are avatars. Okay. Again, this is very concerning. Okay. But again, to an adult, notice how I'm saying adult, to an adult, this may be a fun experience, because if you are a fan of these particular artists, you get to feel, maybe you can't be there physically, but somehow through this technology, you're able to be there and feel like you're right there in the concert. But again, I asked the question, is this something that's really good? Like, do you really, even though as cool as this may initially appear to be, is this something that you really, really, really want? Is this something that's good? And I was talking to my husband about this. It almost seems as, think about this, okay? Almost someone, those of you all who are watching now live, think about this. Okay, we can say that this looks like a video game, right? You have your avatars, you have characters. And when we think about it, just think about this, y'all. I'm human, right? I'm human, and I play video games. I played video games before. Where are you when you normally play video games? Someone type in the chat. When you play video games, where are you normally? Where are you located in terms of location? When you're playing video games, where are you normally? Someone put that in the chat. Where are you normally when you play video games? I can tell you that when I play video games, I'm normally at home. Nowadays, you can take your video game on the go. I'm from back in the days of the original Nintendo and the Sega Genesis, and of course, even PlayStation. PlayStation, 3? I know they're on the PlayStation 5 now, but we still have our PlayStation 3. And so, right, someone said, I don't play but at home. So, and I agree. So what I'm thinking is that it seems like with this metaverse, just based on the way it appears and what it seems like it's intended to be, it seems like that the people behind it are really wanting you to stay home and do all of these things. So to me, it's almost like, this is just my opinion, it's almost like it's saying, okay, don't worry about the real world. The real world is just so bad. Stay at home in your virtual world. Okay. You make your own reality, or you make your own world where, again, like the article I just shared some minutes ago, it says that, you can be whoever you want to be. So think about that. A couple of months back, or a year ago, we were told, to stay at home because some things were happening. The pandemic was happening, and a lot of people, including myself, we were trying to figure out, okay, exactly what's going on here. So we were told to stay at home then. And so it seems like with this new technology or metaverse, it seems like they want people to stay home again. If you ask me, now this is just my opinion. Someone said, what was that game where people would search for items in the real world, but clues were given online. I'm not sure. I honestly don't know if someone, but you know what? There's another, I don't know. I read it. I don't know if I put it in the presentation, but it sort of reminds you of, I'm not sure if this was like a game or a show, but The Sims, could that be it? I know someone or there was something that I was reading, information that I was reading, and it was talking about other technology or apps or games that kind of uses technology. And The Sims, if you all remember from what, the 2000s, that was brought up as something similar to the metaverse. Okay, so hey, from what I get from this particular slide, this information is saying, hey, don't worry about going home, or I'm sorry, don't worry about going out in the real world. You don't have to go to a real concert, live concert. You can stay at home. You can stay at home, and in your own virtual world, we'll put you in this concert and you can feel like you're right there. Don't worry about getting out. You don't have to get out. You don't have to get sunlight. You don't have to get fresh air. Y'all not thinking about that, are you? Someone said you can be whoever you want to be except yourself. Thereby, you aren't required to improve yourself. Now, that is someone who is thinking. This is what I want you all to see. This is the direction that they want us to go in. Again, it just sounds like control. It really sounds like control. We're gonna give you, in my mind, I picture them saying, the real world is just so bad. We're gonna allow you a way to create your own virtual world where you can be whoever you want to be, but we're still gonna have some control over you. So I'm gonna talk about that too, y'all. I'm gonna talk about that too. Y'all stay with me, okay? Thank you all so much. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Now, wait a minute. We're just not going to allow you to create your own virtual world and attend virtual concerts, make you feel like you're in the concert. Oh no, we're going to allow you to work and go to school, participate in work meetings. So look at what I have on the screen, y'all. I'm gonna just let me take myself out of the view. I want you all to see this. Look at look. Do you all see this? What are some things that you notice? What are some things that you notice here? I'm going to read the caption for you. It says, eventually, the idea is that people will be able to do almost anything in the metaverse, including go shopping, attend school, participate in work meetings. Okay. And it also says Microsoft. Now, do you think it is concerning that Microsoft has a connection to this? We have seen Bill Gates, I think a couple of months back, maybe he stepped down. He stepped his position down in the company. He is wanting to be a champion now or maybe you can even say a leader in the fight to ease the effects of climate change. Do you feel like it's a coincidence or maybe it's suspicious, questionable that Microsoft is tied in with this as well? I mean, let me not act like they're not a leader in technology. Of course, we know that, but you have the same person who has done extensive work in the thing that's being pushed now. You all know what I'm talking about. He stepped down. He stepped down as far as his role with the company, Microsoft. And now all of a sudden he's becoming a champion or leader, for lack of a better term, for climate change. And now all of a sudden something he created helped to created, is a part of this new virtual world. Some people have even affiliated the metaverse with being a part of what some people call the New World Order. Someone said, yes, control. Why would using the metaverse be necessary if Zoom is being used effectively? Someone also shared that it is eliminating people. Explain that. That's an interesting concept, eliminating people. Could you explain more what you mean by that? And then someone also shared, sounds like this is a part of transhumanism. Now, I haven't heard of that. Please share some more information on that. Transhumanism, that's a new term I'm not familiar with. Trying to promote immortality. Now, speaking of immortality, remember going back when I brought up the fact that in Israel, Hebrew speakers were questioning or they were ridiculing the fact that Facebook renamed themselves Meta. And according to the article in the Hebrew language, Meta is a word that means dead. So you have dead or death. And then someone brought up the concept about immortality. So is it that, how can I say this? Is it that in the metaverse, is it that it's almost like your real self is, you're suppressing your real self, or you're putting your real self aside, and now all of a sudden you're becoming immortal in this virtual world? Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Am I making sense here? All of these companies collaborating on metaverse is concerning. I'm telling you. This is the information that we need to know. Okay. All right, y'all. Let me keep going. I have somewhere to be soon, so I need to kind of speed up here. Eventually, the idea is that people will be able to do almost anything in the metaverse: go shopping, attend school, participate in work meetings. Just look, y'all. Are they trying to say don't worry about going to the office, interacting with real humans, stay at home, make your own virtual world, and where you can be whoever you want to be? Are they trying to decrease real human interaction? Someone said, let's see, that you don't need to have people to meet with in virtual reality. Will those be actual people in that world? It will all be simulated. Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I would like to know what that term means. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Let me see. Someone shared transhumanism. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Also, tech giants and video game companies are building their own metaverse platforms with different elements. Most say the online realm won't be owned by a single company. Okay, and that was from Roblox. All right, you all, thank you so much for contributing in the chat. If you're just joining, we're talking about some concerns we have, or concerns I have to share with you all about the metaverse. And if you're just tuning in, if you missed the first part of the video, I do encourage you to go back and watch it. This is some good information, y'all. Okay, let me keep going. Now, this is from another video. Okay, all of these slides are screenshots of videos. And this one in particular says, among the companies developing hardware and software for the metaverse are Unity Software Inc., NVIDIA Corp, Microsoft Corp, and Meta. Okay, someone in the chat earlier talked about all these companies working together. Last month, Facebook renamed itself Meta to reflect its metaverse ambitions. Okay, and even thinking about, these are companies that they benefited from the pandemic and people working virtually and not being able to return, in person. These are companies that, according to their earnings, their reports, financial reports, they benefited from the pandemic. So, it is questionable, concerning that they are now all working together regarding this metaverse. All right, let's continue. So what I wanted to point out here to you, I don't know if you can see it, but basically, you have two people. Well, actually, let me see. I think in the video it was two people. They're sitting directly across from each other. They were in a room, and then they put on some glasses. So I don't have the same type of glasses that they have, but if you can imagine, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like basically what it looks like. I'm going to put on these glasses now, y'all. I know these are not virtual or augmented reality glasses. I'm just using this as an example to show you maybe what it was like for them. But imagine you could put on these devices, and just from the view of the other people, you put on these devices, these glasses or headset, and without them, you just see a person sitting across from you. But when you put this headset on, now all of a sudden you see, like, if you can see in the picture, you see cards flying. You start to see other things in the room, and it's like you can just kind of touch. You see what I'm saying? You just touch and you're seeing things happen all around you. Okay. Again, y'all, I know these are not virtual reality glasses or headsets. I'm just using this as an example to show you in this metaverse. And this technology actually is already out there. You can put a device. Okay. Again, I know this ain't it, y'all. I'm just using this as an example because I don't own this type of headset. But imagine, you're sitting across the room at a table with several other people. And as soon as you put on the device, all of a sudden things start floating around you, and who knows what's going on. You're just in a virtual augmented reality. Okay. So that's exactly what's going on in this particular screenshot. Okay. So again, just to give you an idea of what this technology really is all about. All right. In this caption, it says, while you'll be able to enter the metaverse via phones and computers, virtual reality headsets offer a more immersive experience where users see only the online world. Augmented reality overlays virtual objects onto users' view of the real world. Again, I'm telling y'all, this is a direction based on my research. This is the direction that they want things to go in. Okay. All right. So again, here is one of those headsets. Okay. I don't own one, but here's an example of one. And in this particular slide, again, this is information from the Wall Street Journal. It says Meta sells Oculus branded augmented and virtual reality headsets like the ones that you see on the lady pictured there. And it says, while Snap Inc. and Microsoft offer augmented reality glasses designed for consumers and businesses, respectively, more ways to enter the metaverse are in the works. All right. So that is an example of the headsets that you see there. Someone said, isn't there also talk by Elon Musk, I think, to combine computers and the human brain? Wow. It could very well be. I'm not sure. I haven't come across research on that, but I would definitely look that up. And then this person shared, the theory is this will make humans smarter. Wow. I don't know. It could very well be. Okay, let's continue. All right. The path to the metaverse will be through video games, experts say, because the platforms are already developed, which makes for an easier evolution. Roblox held a virtual event to celebrate the designer brand Gucci's 100th anniversary. All right. So again, being able to have those virtual events, again, to me, it seems like they're saying, hey, don't worry about leaving home. Stay at home. We'll bring the event to you. Very concerning. All right, here's another picture. Earlier, I talked about The Sims, and I believe someone in the chat earlier mentioned, was it The Second Life? Was this talked about earlier? Let me see. I'm trying to look through the chat. Oh, okay. Second generation. Let me know if this is what you were talking about. Earlier, someone referred to it as second generation. But let me read the caption. It says, early iterations of what some might call the metaverse include the video game The Sims. I mentioned this earlier, which launched in 2000, and online game Second Life, which launched in 2003. In both, people control avatars in a virtual world. Okay, so someone earlier mentioned that as well. Okay, or I think they mentioned that. Okay, all right. So again, y'all, you don't seem like to me what they're saying. Hey, don't worry about coming out of your house. Just get together, drop the links. You all can meet, create your own avatar. Again, it's reducing human face-to-face interaction. Okay, all right. This was the one. Okay, yeah. They're saying that, and this is something Second Life, it says, was launched in 2003. So that was what, 18 years ago? So something that was created 18 years ago, maybe people back then, didn't make the connection, but even back then, 18 years ago in 2003, they were preparing for what we're seeing and hearing about and what they're talking about doing now in 2021. Okay. All right. The article from the Wall Street Journal goes on to say that some experts are concerned about privacy and security in the metaverse. Others are worried about users' mental health and the potential for people to prefer the virtual world over the real world and end up neglecting their real life needs. All right. This is a major concern, y'all. So much so that I'm going to read it again. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. Some experts are concerned about privacy and security in the metaverse. Others are worried about users' mental health and the potential for people to prefer the virtual world over the real world and end up neglecting their real life needs. So in other words, what it's saying to me is that some people, depending on with some people, they're saying that they're going to get so caught up in this fantasy world or virtual world, the world they've created, where they can be whoever they want to be, that it's going to have an effect on them mentally, on their mental health. And, whether they are aware of it or not, some people could even start to prefer the virtual world over the real world, and end up neglecting their real life needs. Now that's something to be concerned about, y'all, especially I would say among young children, young teenagers, young adults who are still developing and growing. But again, this is my opinion. You all let me know your thoughts in the chat. Okay. All right. In the New York Post, experts warn Facebook's metaverse poses terrifying dangers. Okay. So I want to just share some information with you. Again, this information does come from the New York Post, and it says Facebook's metaverse poses terrifying dangers and needs to be policed, according to an expert. Now, the immersive virtual world was recently revealed as one of Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg's top priorities, but critics are skeptical about how good it will actually be. Okay, Dr. David Reed, who is a professor of AI, or artificial intelligence, and spatial computing at Liverpool Hope University, thinks it will change our lives just like the internet did. He's also very worried about potential dangers. Okay, some things that he had to say are, and I quote, "And we need a highly robust system in place to police the metaverse." Let me know your thoughts on that. He also said, "We're clearly in the very early stages, but we need to start talking about these problems now before we go down a route we can't reverse away from. It's crucial for the future." Professor Reed is also concerned about the vast amount of data that could be collected from the metaverse and who controls it. Again, these are things to think about. So think about this, y'all. Who is going to be able to collect all this data? And then who's going to control it? Where is this information going to go? Professor Reed also fears that avatars could be hacked. These are some other concerns. He also fears that avatars could be hacked and you could end up interacting with cyber criminals rather than people you know and trust. Think about this, y'all. Reed also explained the metaverse's, and I quote, "The metaverse's ultimate aim is not just virtual reality or augmented reality, it's mixed reality. It's and he refers to it as MR, mixed reality. Okay, blending the real world with the virtual world. He's saying it's blending the digital and the real world together. Ultimately, this blend may be so good and so pervasive that the virtual and the real become indistinguishable. Someone mentioned that in the chat earlier. Okay. He also shared in the market for that is gigantic. Whoever controls it will basically have control over your entire reality. All right, that's something that's concerning. All right, let's see. Someone in chat says, I don't think I would like living in the metaverse. Sounds like there's going to be a lot of conflict. I'm telling you, it's something to definitely be concerned about. Okay. There's also an article shared from the Miami Herald. The article basically spoke that the metaverse will change the world's economy and make it more unequal. Okay. So just to share, basically, they were saying first, there are many internet companies in addition to the new Meta, Microsoft, Sony, Google, and Apple that are working at full speed to create multi-dimensional digital universes. There won't be just one metaverse, but as many millions of meta worlds as there are currently internet sites. Okay. You will be able to create your own meta world, invite me or whoever is writing the article. They were saying, invite me to sit down virtually in your living room and digitally walk together from there to your office or any other place. Okay, we will do all of this with eyeglasses. Nowadays, this is done with heavy goggles, but they will soon be replaced by fashionable glasses and perhaps later by chips in our heads. I know it sounds scary. Okay, that's coming from, and maybe that was also what you were mentioning. Someone mentioned that in the chat as well about computers, combining computers and the human brain. This is just alarming, y'all. Okay, I'm going to kind of skip down. In this paragraph, it says the production of digital elements for the meta world is likely to widen the technological gap between rich and poor countries. High-tech countries that have the best internet infrastructure and digital workforces will benefit the most. Okay, so again, that goes back to the title of the article, The Metaverse Will Change the World's Economy and Make It More Unequal. So basically, they're saying that the countries who already have the internet access, internet speed, internet infrastructure will definitely be at a economic advantage or a technological advantage because they already have the infrastructure to make this happen. Okay. All right. Yes. Okay. It was exactly what you were referring to. Okay. All right. So again, I asked the question, what will the world look like when you can be whoever you want to be in the metaverse? I would like for you to put your thoughts in the chat. Let me know, what will the world look like when you can be whoever you want to be in the metaverse? Okay. This information comes from the Washington Post. And it says in 2007, a group of Stanford researchers decided to explore a novel question. What effect would a person's choice of online avatars have on their behavior? This is very important, y'all. Their findings were startling. Not only would the user operate the avatar in a way consistent with its appearance in the digital world, but the avatar's characteristics would shape the user's behavior back in the real one. Listen to this, y'all. A person who chooses to be taller digitally in this metaverse world, in the world they created, a person who chooses to be taller digitally becomes a more aggressive negotiator in daily life. Listen to this, y'all. Someone who dons an innovator's lab coat online is more creative at real world meetings. Adopting a character digitally, the researchers found, can essentially change a personality in a turn that has come to be known as the Proteus Effect. I'm gonna do some research on that as well. Okay. So they're saying that your appearance and behavior in the digital world can ultimately shape your behavior in the real world. Okay, and they call it an effect known as the Proteus Effect. I'm gonna do some research on that and bring you all details on that effect. Okay, the phenomenon, it says, could become suddenly widely relevant with the advent of the metaverse, the long fantasized ideal of a persistently virtual world that allows a limitless number of users to roam, play, learn, work, and yes, buy. Okay, let's see. All right, so that information comes from the Washington Post. All right, y'all. So with all that I have shared, I would like to know your thoughts, your concerns. So in the chat, please type your response to the following question. What are your thoughts or your concerns on the metaverse? With this, one concern that I have with this digital world is that if there are not, if younger people were to use this, um, one of the concerns I have right away is that if there are not parameters and controls, parental controls, maybe you could say if they're not put in place, or the absence of parental controls, it seems like would just, how do you know if someone is able to go in and create their own virtual world? They could pretend to be someone that they're really not. It seems like that would leave the door open for just inappropriate behaviors, inappropriate conversations between, what may appear to be two adults talking. How do you know it's not an adult talking to a minor online? And so it's just very concerning. And I want you to ask yourself, by no means am I trying to tell you what you should or should not do when it comes to your social media, but my goal is to make you aware of what is going on so that you can decide. And I hope that you're able to go back and do your own research, share the information with your family members, your friends, your loved ones, those you care about, and decide for yourself, do you want to be a part of this metaverse? Now, another side of it, some people can say, it's an opportunity for people to responsibly use it to promote or grow their business. And, if done the right way, it could open people up to new business opportunities. Certainly, we can see just from the information I shared that there is, possibly a lot of money, millions or billions of dollars to be made from this metaverse. But I don't know. Would you all like to see Andrea Speaks TV in the metaverse? You all let me know. I couldn't imagine, or, for me, I've shared with you all before, I grew up in an age where before the internet. I remember times where there was no internet. And so a lot of things are still quite, very new to me. For example, Instagram, because I'm trying to grow my Instagram following. And so certain parts of social media are even still new to me. But the fact that, I don't know, you can like put yourself in a virtual world and let others join in, it's kind of weird. And, in a way, just from me hearing it, not really knowing about how it works, it's kind of seem a little strange. But again, I come from a generation where there was no internet, there was no social media, so you would expect that. Okay. All right. So please type your comments in the chat. Someone said earlier, it is very confusing, just like social media, referring to the metaverse. Someone said, thank you, Andrea. Concern I have is that it would be a chaotic world like Mad Max. Things will be very confusing and there'll be no baseline and a lot of conflict. Great show. And I have learned a lot. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That is my, thank you so much for sharing that. That is the goal of the channel, so that you all can learn and share. Please share this information with family members and friends, those you love and care about. So I want to say thank you all so much. This has been episode 54 of Andrea Speaks TV. If you just tuned in, or if you missed much of the video, please go back and look at it. I encourage you to watch it from the beginning to the end, even the parts in between where I had some technical difficulties. This is certainly information that you can use. So again, I want to say thank you all so much for supporting the channel. And make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Give me some feedback. Leave your thoughts in the comment. Share this video and be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you're not a subscriber, look for the red subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you will be informed and connected when I upload new videos every week. Thank you all so much. I pray that you have a great rest of your evening, and I hope you have a great week ahead. Thank you all so much for supporting Andrea Speaks TV. And until next time, y'all take care. Okay, someone said, hope to see you next time. When do you release your videos normally? I don't have certain times. I try to release, I do release information videos each week, but make sure that you are subscribed. You should get a notification, or when you first log into YouTube, each day you should see that I have uploaded new content. But I do upload new videos each week, not a particular time of the day or on a set date, but make sure you subscribe and you'll get the notification, or you'll see my new videos when I do upload new content. Also, what I'm going to start doing is on my Instagram page, which is at Andrea Speaks TV, I'll start posting when I have new videos and topics uploaded, or I'll start also announcing when I go live. So if you are on Instagram, please make sure you follow me on Instagram at Andrea Speaks TV, because I'm going to start. I told you all I'm kind of a little bit still new to Instagram. And so I want to grow my channel, or grow my Instagram page. So I am going to be posting there a lot more consistently. But I don't know, y'all, if I know Facebook or Meta owns Instagram, but I don't know. I'm still, I have a lot of concerns about this, virtual world. And so I don't know if this is something that I really want to be a part of, but I'm going to continue doing my research to find out. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your support. You all take care. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And thank you all so much for watching Andrea Speaks TV. You all take care and have a great week ahead. Thank you.